Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial on the ace setup that is used in the Triforce percent showcase. This isn't going to be showing how to inject all the data and everything, all the custom content and beta content. This is just going to be showing the initial ace setup up until TaskBot takes over. So, this is going to be following a route doc that was written by SaveState. And I'm going to go ahead and break this down into a few parts. So the first is going to be acquiring the Kokiri sword, the Deku shield, and Deku nuts, as well as collecting all the permanent rupees required for the heap. The next part is going to be the heap manipulation, getting return A, and keeping return A as you move back to the crawl space. The next part is going to be making your way over to the rock, and then picking up the rock, as well as the blind movement back to the Deku Baba hallway. And finally, we're going to be going over the last three angle setups, one for dropping the rock, one for setting up Link's last targeted angle, and one for setting up Link's facing angle. And that's all there is. So first off, you're going to want to, for practicing, I'd recommend patching a 1.0 ROM with Jeezy. That way you can use memory washes, save states, free camera, cheats, and so many things that are going to make this much easier to practice than if you were just doing this on a normal cartridge. So I'm going to boot that up now. And something to note, this does work on files that have been saved before. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and start fresh. So I'm going to delete my file and name myself Link. You can name yourself whatever, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to name myself Link. And so now what you want to do is you want to watch the intro. So I'm going to skip through all this. Alright, so I have just finished watching the intro. And what I'm going to do now is, just for the sake of practicing, I'm going to pause, press B, and then save. Press A to save. So that's going to make it so that I don't have to watch the intro again, and I can just start from in Link's house. If you want to do this by just not saving and go ahead and do the entire setup on cartridge, then feel free to do that. I'm just doing this for the sake of practice. So now I'm just going to exit Link's house, kind of go around the table, roll out. And so now what we need to do is we need to go get the sword, shield, Deku nuts, and get all the permanent rupees. So over here, I'm going to mash text with A, B, and C up. I'm also going to save state. And then once the text is cleared, I'm going to flick up, target, and backflip, and continue backwalking. Next, I'm going to stop once I get around here, this brown patch of grass by Link's feet. And once I'm around here, I'm going to slide up to the right 2 to 3 times so that I can collect the 2 rupees in the bushes right here. So you might have to slide up around a bit to get them, but you'll eventually get them. And so next I'm going to continue backwalking until I get to around here, and from here you can just roll the ramp if you'd like. You can side up or backflip up there. And you want to walk up and try to line up Link with the crawl space. Then you can backflip over the fence, and once you're around here, you're going to turn around and roll and target again so that you can see the crawl space, and then enter the crawl space. So that was the first part of this. I'm going to save state here. And so what you want to do when you've entered here is you want to flick up, you want to target, and you want to either backflip or backwalk until you get around here. I'm going to prefer to backflip, so I'm going to backflip. Oh, come on. So backflip, side to the right twice, and back walk for a bit. Once you're around here, side up left, grab these 5 rupees, and then side up to the right 5 more times to make your way to the Kokiri sword. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm gonna back walk for a bit, and when I see the chest, I'm gonna turn around, and I'm gonna open the chest. So now I have acquired the Kokiri sword, and I'm gonna match it with this text. And I'm gonna save state here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press B. I'm gonna flick up, target, so that I target the chest. I'm gonna backwalk until I get around to the, no. I'm gonna backwalk until I get around to the wall on the other side there. So, just target, flick, target, backwalk, and I get hit by the rock. If that happens, it's okay. Just continue heading over here. And once you're around here, you want to pause and equip your sword. Next, you want to side up around 8 to 9 times until you get to the wall all the way over there. And so that's what I'm going to do now. Go ahead and get like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I'm over here. I'm gonna slash this bush to try to get some extra rupees, and I'm gonna collect the blue rupee that's in front of me. So now I'm gonna slide up to the left around 2 to 3 times, and I'm gonna line myself up with the sun. I'm gonna backwalk until I get to the crawl space. Then I can enter it. So now what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna flick up, backflip. I'm gonna flick, side up left, and then backflip again to get 6 more rupees. And so now what we need to do is, with all these bushes right here, we need to make sure that we have at least 23 rupees before continuing with the rest of everything. So I'm gonna continue slashing bushes. It's about a 1 in 4 chance to get a rupee. So I have 22. And now I have 23. It doesn't matter if you slash a sign, it's not gonna mess up anything. Once you have 23 rupees, you can continue on with this. If you did not get 23 rupees after slashing all the bushes, and you still have 21 or 22, that's okay, because there are some rocks down here that you can throw and try to get some extra rupees out of. So if you have 23 rupees, or you've already slashed all the bushes and don't have 23 rupees yet, then you can slash this sign to get 5 more rupees. Now what you want to do is you want to backflip out of here, and you want to go over to this pillar right over here. So I'm going to target the pillar right here, where the center of Link's head is lined up with the splotch, and I'm going to save state because now we're going to be doing a trick known as bridge flip. And so that's going to make it so that we can clip up onto this bridge right here and go get the rupee on top of the pillar. If you don't want to do any of that, you can just go around and walk up this ramp around the back of the house and get it that way, but this is a bit faster and it's not too difficult. So I'm gonna get here, I'm gonna slide up to the right 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna backflip, and now is where you can save state again if you'd like, because this next part is a bit tricky. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna hold forward, and then around when Link is at the peak of his jump is when you want to hit B to jump slash. And so that should make it so that Link clips up through the bridge. It's a bit tricky to get used to, but it is doable if you want to put in the time. But yeah, again, if you don't want to do any of that, you can just come over here and walk up the ramp like before. So, if you're going to go for this though, I'd recommend practicing this because it is a bit tricky. But anyway, once you're up here, you're going to side up around 2 to 4 times so that you can get all the way up here, and you want to collect this blue rupee. Once you collected it, if you don't have at least 33 rupees, you can throw these rocks to try to get some extra rupees out of them. If you throw all these rocks and you still don't have enough rupees, that's really unfortunate, but it's okay because you can just enter this house, exit, and throw some more rocks to see if you can get enough rupees. If you do have enough 30 rupees, like if you have at least 33 rupees, then you can hop up here and you can collect this blue rupee back here. So now if you don't have at least 40 rupees yet, if you're like me and you have 38 rupees or 39, you can come over to this grass over here, collect 2 more rupees in it, 1 or 2 depending on how many you need. Doesn't matter if you go over, just as long as we have at least 40 rupees at this point. Also, these 2 rupees, the rupees in the grass, do not affect the heap, so you can collect as many of these as you want, just like the rock rupees and the bush rupees. So, next what you want to do is, once you have at least 40 rupees, you're going to hop across these stones for 5 more rupees. So now I have 45 rupees, and if you have at least 50 rupees from getting like super lucky with the bushes, you're free to just enter the shop now and continue on with everything else. If you don't have at least 50 rupees, however, which is like normal luck, then you can just come over to this area, and I'm gonna save stay here just in case. You can hop across this area to get 5 more rupees. So there you go. Oh my goodness, wait, did I? Oh, well, if you stand around for too long, the game's just not gonna give you the rupees. I'm just gonna go in this house and get it so that I can grab those rupees again. Alright, so I'm gonna grab these rupees, and now I have at least 50 rupees so I can enter the shop. If you want to, you can jump slash here, try to get a little distance. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. So now once you're in the shop, you're gonna come behind this little area and you get 5 more rupees. So now you should have at least 55 rupees. So now you can talk to this guy and buy the Deku Shield. Match the text. And then you want to buy the Deku Nuts. So now you've acquired all the items you need. And next is to equip these. So you can pause, and you can see it says speak. So if I press A here, even though I'm not facing the dude, I can still talk to him. So the way to get out of this is you can just like walk over here. You don't have to do this. It's just something extra if you want. So you can pause, and you can equip the Deku Nuts to whatever you want, to whatever C button you want. I'm gonna equip the C down because that's where I like it. And I'm gonna go over and equip the shield. Now in the unpause leg, I'm gonna hold down and press A. That way I don't talk to the guy, but I also can roll. Alright, so that was the end of the first part. We have now collected all the permanent rupees that we'd need to set up the heat minute. And we have also acquired the Kokiri Sword, Deku Shield, and Deku Nuts. So what we're going to want to do next is, after we exit the shop, we're going to collect these 5 rupees that we collected earlier. So just hop across here, grab these, and now we're going to go talk to Mido. So just mash through his text. And if you would like, after you finish talking to him, you can save your game, and that should make it so that all you have to do if you want to practice this again is just go in the shop, grab the rupees again, and head down this hallway. So I'm going to do that now, just for the sake of practicing. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the heap. So this is fairly simple, just a couple things to keep in mind while doing this. So there are going to be some camera shenanigans that involve keeping Mido loaded or unloaded when crossing the loading plane. So when we have the camera like this, Mido is unloaded, but if we have the camera somewhere pointed towards the wall, the corner of the wall, that means Mido is loaded. So anywhere from here, like here to here is gonna keep Mido loaded. And then anything from like here to here is gonna keep Mido unloaded. So what we wanna do first is we wanna cross the loading plane, which is about somewhere around here, just in the center of the hallway. And so what we wanna do is we wanna set the camera to load Mido as we cross the load plane while charging our sword. So Mido is loaded. I have the camera pointed towards him, and I'm going to charge my sword. And once I see or hear the Decubalas, I can let go of my sword, and I can cross back over the load plane. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing, except I'm not going to charge my sword this time. So I like this, and once I see or hear the Decubalas, I am free to cross back over the loading plane. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to unload Mido. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and now Mido is unloaded, and I'm going to cross the load plane again. And now I'm free to exit again. Now the last thing we need to do is we need to target, load Mido, and backwalk back into here. Doesn't matter if we backwalk, but I like to do it because we need to spawn this dude, make this dude go up, and backwalking is a good way to do it because it usually does activate him. So now what we want to do is we need to come over to this Decubala, right here, and we want to, it doesn't matter if you take damage by the way, but we want to go over and target this wall. Something I've mentioned to you guys, watches. These are really helpful for showing your angle. So if you go to your watches menu, I have one right now set for 801D88E6 X16, and that shows Link's facing angle at all times. So first what we're going to want to do is we're going to target this wall, and I'm going to flick right. Now once I'm here, I'm going to wait for this Decubaba to spin, and I'm going to press Z, C up, and R all in the same frame. So I'm going to wait till they start spinning, and all three buttons. Now my A button says return, which is what we want. What you do not want is your A button to say anything else, because if that happens, it means you do not press them all in the same frame, but that's okay because you're going to try this again. If you want to get out of return A just for practice, you can press C up, and then C up again to get out of it. And so if you're having trouble pressing them all in the same frame, that's okay. There's an easy alternative. When it's spinning, you can just pause, and then hold and unpause lag. So like when the camera, when it the pause menu falls down, and a little after, you just want to hold all three of those buttons that I mentioned earlier. So Z, C up, and R, and that should just give you return A, because the game should have them all pressed on the same frame. So pause and then hold all three buttons, and now you can see I have return A. And so you know you have it if it says return A, and also your camera is locked. So now all you need to do from here is you need to walk out of this area, and then you want to stop when you're around this corner. So I'm going to save state here, and what I'm going to do from here is, this is going to be the movement Oh my gosh, Link just like did an exorcism. I don't know what just happened, but okay. Wow. I guess when he's doing that and you target, he like breaks his back or something. Anyway, so that was a bit off topic. It's so funny though. Anyway, so walking while return A is a bit weird because the camera doesn't move to Link wherever Link is, but it still has the effects of targeting. So you can see I'm moving around like normal, but if I target and I start moving around, I start moving like I'm actually targeting because I am. Just the camera is stuck. So what we want to do now is when we're around this area, is you want to side hop all the way until you get to the ramp where you would climb up to go to the crawl space. And so to play it safe, you can just hold Z, flick left, and then press A quickly. And that should make it so that Link doesn't move in weird ways every time. So just keep doing that, and you should safely make it across these stepping stones. It might look kind of close, but I promise if you're in the area, you should always make it all the way to where I'm going. So once I'm around here, I'm going to hold up left, and I'm going to walk up this ramp, and I'm going to hold down left to walk up it a bit. Once I'm around here, I'm going to flick up, target, and then back walk all the way. If you get stuck on this fence, you can just move it to the left. And I'm going to backflip. I'm going to flip side up left. And if this fence pushes you, then you know you're in a good position to enter the crawl space. If not, you can use the minimap to see where you are. So like if I'm over here and I got lost or something, I can't figure out where the crawl space is, I'm just going to look at my minimap, try to line myself up with it, and enter it. And so that was all of the heat manipulation, getting return A, and keeping return A as you move back to the crawl space. So now once we're here, I'm going to go ahead and save state. And what you want to do is hold down right and mash A. So now you can see I'm talking to the sign. And what I want to do from here is I'm going to use my deck nuts, so I have it on C down, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to target the sign. And then I'm going to mash, it's hold targeting because, I don't know why, but you have to hold target. And you want to mash through this text with C up. Now what I want to do is I want to move towards this corner of the fence while still holding target. And then I want to pause and then unpause. That should make it so that when I press A to try to backflip, the game does not soft lock and prevent Link from moving. So make sure you always do this before backflipping, otherwise you will have to reset your game and try doing all this again. But if you have save states, it's okay because you can just reload that. Anyway, once you're here, you're going to backflip, and you're going to let target go off target. Now I'm going to slide up to the left a bunch. I'm going to do the safe side hops from earlier. Oh, my camera angle is like really weird. Yeah, I'll show what it looks like in full motion. So you can see I got that. And then now I'm going to pause, back again, let go of target, and then do my side hops. And now what we want to do to get the camera to the right position is you want to side up left, and after one of them you just want to press A to drive roll up left. So side up left, press A to do drive roll. So now the camera is a little different, and Link's angle is a little different too. And what you want to do is you want to come over to this rock right here. Not any of the other rocks, it has to be this specific rock. So I'd recommend save stating here because this next part is a bit tricky and you can fail it easily. So what you want to do is you want to try to get Link to a position so that when you press B and then mash A, Link picks up the rock as it unloads, so you can see, you can hear Link put away his sword, and also my A button says throw. If those two things are true, and also my camera is like stuck on the sign and pointed towards this angle, then that means I've done everything correctly. If not, however, because this is a bit finicky, also you want Link to stand like around this green patch right here. If you're too far forward and you try to pick up the rock, so let's say I'm here, I'll pick it up, and you can tell because you can hear me put away my sword and it says throw on the A button, but my camera is like completely different from the last angle. So that means you're too far, and if you don't have a save state, you're gonna have to go back into one of the houses, like the House of Twins or something, and then go try the heatman up again. Or if you have save state, you can just reload that. And if you're too far down, what Link is gonna do is he's going to just end up jump slashing and instead of picking up the rock until I haven't gotten the rock, because you didn't hear me putting away my sword. And also my A button says attack instead of throw. So once you've gotten used to this and you are able to pick up the rock fairly with decent consistency, then you're ready to move on with the next part, which is blind walking. Now this is probably the weirdest part of this entire setup, in my opinion. But what you need to do is you need to get used to the BPM of the Triforce music. So it's about 145 BPM, and you're going to be able to like count how many beats have passed. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. Because this blind walking basically relies on all that. Now, if you want to, you can just get a metronome and not have to you can like count in your head or anything, trying to find the beats. But I'm just going to show that without it, because some people might not have a metronome, like just handy. So what you want to do first is you want to hold upright until Link passes this pillar right here, and then you would continue counting for 10 beats. Continue holding upright for 10 beats, then holding right for 15 beats, then holding down right for 6 beats, upright for 11 beats, and then up left for around 6 to 7 beats. So I'm gonna show that now. So I'm gonna hold upright, and I will keep holding upright. Then once Link passes the pillar, I'm gonna start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I've counted to 10. So I'm gonna hold upright for 15 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you know you've done this correctly at this point. If you see the HUD kind of flash a bit, that means Link has passed over the little bit of water by the shop, and he's safely on the other side. If you fall in the water and the camera like changes the time, that means you fall in the water and you most likely soft locked, so you just either reload your save state or reset your game and try all this again. This is a really tricky when you're first getting used to, so if you want to, you can use free cam and GZ to see where you're like going wrong with all this. But it's pretty lenient, so don't worry about it too much. Just make sure you can practice it enough to get it to where it's somewhat consistent. Anyway, so once you're here, you're gonna hold down right for 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so now I'm gonna hold upright for 11 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I'm gonna hold up left for around 6, 7 beats. If it's longer than that, if it's around like 8 or 9 and you pass through, don't worry about it. Yeah, as long as you can make it. But if you keep holding up left and nothing happens, that means you got lost somewhere. And yeah, I'd recommend using GZ's practice cam to free cam to get it around there. So I'm gonna hold up left for 6 or 7 beats. You can see I passed it. And now, if I'm holding, you can see I'm holding nothing. And if I pass this loading plane and my game doesn't crash and also Link doesn't drop what he's holding, that means I've done everything correctly up to this point. So I'm going to go ahead and show the blind walking once again. So I'm going to pick up the rock. So hold right. Once you pass the pillar, start counting to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're at 15 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now down right for 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up right for 11 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now up left for 6 or 7 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I'm back. And now, if you've done everything correctly up to this point, Link is holding nothing, and you've also successfully crossed the loading plane without crashing your game or making him drop it, then you're ready to continue on with the final part of the run. So, in case my game crashes, which it might, I'll do my best not to. But if you look at the wonder item, any time from now, your game will crash, 100%. This can even happen while setting up Link's angle right here. So make sure you're very careful and you don't load that area. So what you want to do now is you want to drop this rock that Link is holding and my game crashed. As I just finished saying that, it's amazing. I guess I'll just show this with a regular rock. That way my game doesn't actually crash. And then I'll show this full speed in a minute. But what you want to do is you want to drop this rock at angle 8F80. And so you can see with this memory watch that we set earlier, I'll go ahead and put it up if you haven't seen it already. It's 801DAAE6 X16. It's going to show us Link's facing angle. And so what we want to do is we want Link to start facing at angle 8000. And to do that, we want to point the camera down this hallway. Also, your Z targeting will be broken because of getting walking while talking. So that doesn't work. We have to move the camera by moving Link around. And so what we want to do is we want to get the camera pointed somewhere down the hallway, like around here. And if you see it kind of slowly turning, that's how we know that, and once it stops, that's how we know we're at 8000, if we're just going straight up and down. And so now what we need to do from here is, just for the sake of trying not to crash the game, if you're trying not to crash your game, then what you can do is you can get to this point and then flick down, and then you can wait until your camera turns. So next, something to keep in mind is when ESS turning, which is spinning Link in place by holding barely inside the controller's dead zone. That always makes him move by a certain amount, which is what we're going to be using to set up these angles. So something to keep in mind is when you're setting up these angles specifically, if you ESS and Link catches up to your ESS position, his angle is going to get skewed, which is not what you want at all. My targeting isn't broken because I just reset my game. But anyway, so once you're here, you're gonna let the camera lock. You're gonna ESS to the left a bit, and then you're gonna ESS up until you get around to 8F80. So the visual cue I use for this, if you have the camera locked, is Link's shield is slightly, it's kind of lined up with his leg. The edge of his shield is. One ESS to the left would be 9688, and you can see Link's shield is kind of lined up with his arm instead of his leg. And then one ESS past that is 8878, or one ESS to the right of the correct position is 8878, and you can see Link's shield is pointing way off to the side, which is also not what you want. So you want 8F80. And then once you're here, you can drop your invisible rock, and now you're ready to continue on with the next part. So what now is we want to come over to this area on the wall, and we want to start walking backwards. So we want to get the camera to do that same panning effect that we had earlier. Like you can see, it's panning as I walk back, and I'm at 4,000, which is exactly what I want. If you want to, you can see up and try to get the camera past it. So you can see him here, and the camera is slowly panning until I get to 4,000. And now I can walk all the way back to about this area over here. I like to stand sort of around in this brown splotch of grass and let out my camera. And so you really do not want to crash your game right now, so make sure that you do not load the wonder item on screen. So the way to do this is you can just try to move Link up without the camera turning, because it's going to just stay behind him. And so once you're at this angle, you're going to want to shield turn upright with perfect diagonals, so that way you can get to, you go in save state, angle 2000. And so this cannot be the case if you have really bad like notches or whatever. So let's say my notch is around here, and try to shield turn up left, then it's gonna give me like some crazy angle, like 2200 something. Anyway, so the way to avoid this is, if your notches are really bad and you can't get perfect diagonals, or I guess I should explain what perfect diagonals are. If your controller values are the exact same, that means you're gonna get perfect diagonals. So let's say I'm at come on, give me something that's the same. It's 54, and I shield turn, it's gonna give me 2000. But also, the game counts perfect diagonals as if you have something above. If both your diagonals are 67 or above, the game is always going to give you perfect diagonals. So you can see I have 77, 79. They aren't the same, but they're above 67. They're both above 67, so the game is going to give me perfect diagonals. So that's one way to force the game to give you perfect diagonals. If that's not the case with you, however, what you can do is you can shield, pause, and then hold down left and hit start and L. So that should reset your dead zone to down left. Now you can hold upright. I'm using a RAF net connected to an EM adapter, so my values aren't very large, but normally they would be set to like 128 something. Something crazy large value that will basically always force the game to give you perfect diagonals. So now you want to unpause, and I just flipped there because GZ made me fly. But now you want to hold upright and shield turn, and that should always give you 2000 if your angles before were good. So now I'm going to pause again, and press start and L so that my dead zone gets set back to normal. And now I continue on with everything else. So now that we're here, what we need to do is we need to ESS to the right all the way until we get to F5D0. And wow, I messed that up. It's okay though. So just ESS all the way until you get to here. And so you can tell this is correct because when I see up, you can see the B button is lined up with the left of Mido's house. One to the left of it is the B button is way off of Mido's house, and then one ESS too far to the right is here, and you can see it's sort of towards the right, way off the left of Mido's house. So from there, once you're at the correct angle, what you want to do is you want to C up, and you want to hold down and start holding B, so that way you can charge a spin attack. And set Link's targeted angle position to last targeted angle to 75DF. So now Link's last targeted angle is 75DF, as you saw a second ago. And now we need to keep the wonder items. We still need to keep the wonder item off screen. So what we want to do is we want to hop over the water here, and you can see up if you need to try to keep the camera away from it. Also, by the way, I guess I can show this if my game won't crash. But if you load like over here, your game will definitely crash. So like once the camera gets around here, it's just instantly gonna crash. But yeah, normally you can't target here because walking while talking is still broken. A couple things. But you want to stand around this grassy position right here, and what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to see up, and you're wanting to see this splotch on the wall, like right here. That's what you're gonna want to sort of get the camera to. And so then if you ESS up, you should see that Link's facing angle is moving towards 4,000. And now the camera angle is correct. So from here, what we need to do is we need to C up, and then we need to shield, and then try to shield turn down. So now I have shield turned down, and what I need to do is I need to ESS all the way over to the right and back around to 8BE8. So I'm gonna ESS. Be careful not to crash the game here because the camera will try to pan behind you. And make sure your notches do not catch up to your ESS turning. And now I'm at 8BE8, and so my visual cue to make sure I'm here correctly is I'm going to C up, and you can see my rupee count is just below the left edge of the dirt patch right here. If you're one too far to the right, when it's just too far to the right, you can see it's kind of to the right of the middle. The rupee count is to the right of the middle of the dirt patch, which is incorrect. You need, and then one too far to the left, you can see the rupee count is way far off from the patch. So it should be around the left of the patch, and once you're there, you can C up and pause. Next what we want to do is you want to have perfect diagonals down left. So you can do what I mentioned before, the flicking your, resetting your dead zone to get to that angle. I'll just show that now, I guess. So I'll pause, and then pause again, hold all three of these buttons. Holding upright, resetting my dead zone. And then unpausing and trying to pause buffer one frame of down left. Pause buffer on N64 is a bit tough. There we go. So now I have pause buffered one frame of down left, and so I can reset my down zone. So just press all three of these buttons at the same time. Now my dead zone is back to normal, and I need to ESS down until I get to 0804. If you want to, you can ESS to the right in case you go over, because you don't want your controller to get past. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Jeezy. Let me go ahead and reset this just in case the camera pans, which is not what I want. So I'm gonna ESS up to get to this angle, shield turn, ESS all the way around, and then C up again, pause, turn down left, and if you pause both for 2 frames, just don't worry about it, but you have to reset your angle. Try this all again. So now I'm in 8v8, can see up again, see up, pause, try to buffer 1 down, 1 left frame of down left, there we go. And now I just need to ESS down or right all the way until I get to 804. And you can see I went past it 1 frame. If that happens, just you need to reset your angle. So just try this setup again. There we go. And so I did 2 again, which is not what I need to do. There we go. And now I need to ESS all the way down until I get to 804. So this is a couple frames before. This is 1 frame before. And now just before link passes all the way down, this is 804. And so from here on, if you've done everything correct up to this point, what you can do is you can unpause and then pause again. And while it's pausing, hold B and then D-pad up. And then you can unpause. And if the camera swings around and your game crashes, I'll show this off in a minute, but your game will say, once you open up the debug crasher, it should give a specific value that it crashed at in PC, and it should say Crow processor is unusable. So I will go ahead and get back to that point. Also, so for full speed, if you want to like see everything, if you've saved after getting Mida moved out of the way, is you can just go back into the house or go into the shop, exit the shop, go and collect this rupee again. Do the heat minute. So load Mido, charge sword, cross again, load, unload, unload Mido, load, unload, load Mido, backwalk here, get Navi out of the way if you need to, return A, backwalk, do side hops all the way until you get to the crawl space. Whoops. Backwalk. enter the crawl space, exit the crawl space, dash A, pause, right over here, take the rock, look right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm back. And so from here on out, I'm going to do the angle set that we learned earlier. And so I'm going to flick down, ESS over to, actually I guess I'll show up the angle setup that I did earlier. So I'll let the camera lock on this wall, ESS over to 8F80, she'll drop the rock, get the camera moved toward this back wall, try to get the camera to pan, that way we know we're at C1000, so you can see it's panning. I'm at 4000, and I'm in the spot on the ground. I'm going to shield turn up right, ESS over to F5D0, C up again, hold down and hold B. Now like angle setup, last targeted angle is set up correctly, so I can hop over here, target this wall, go around here so the camera pans up when I ESS up, and now I can see up, shield turned down, and ESS all the way over to 8BE8, see up again, pause, perfect diagonal turn down right, or down left I mean, and then ESS all the way over to 804. This is the one frame before. Alright, here we are. So now that we're here, we can, while it's pausing again, hold B, hold D-pad up, and then pause. And if your game, after it unpauses, the camera swings around and your game crashes, then we can check it doing a special command. So here it goes. Now my game has crashed. And to check if I've done everything properly, I'm gonna open up the crash debugger by holding LR, hitting Z, and I can let go of those. Then I'm gonna press D-pad up, C down, C up, C down, D-pad down, D-pad left, C right, D-pad right, hold AB, press start. So then I should have opened it up, and you can see I've done everything correctly because PC says 8011D790. I guess the H is the 2, but that doesn't really matter. Anyway, if you have this value on PC and it says coprocessor unusable, you've done everything correctly, and you're ready to try setting up TaskBot to inject all the data. If it says coprocessor unusable and this value is a little off, that means you've messed up somewhere along the way, mostly within the last angle setups. And also if it has any value other than this, it means you did something slightly off with one of the angle setups at the end. But yeah, that's about it for this tutorial. If you have troubles with any of this, because this stuff is really, can be really crazy sometimes, I'd recommend asking questions in the OOT Discord or the Triforce % channel in the TaskBot Discord, and there will be plenty of people there to help you with whatever is going wrong. So I guess that's about it. Good luck and have fun.